Good morning and welcome to the Blind Tinkerer's Workshop once again. I know some of you are getting tired of the electronic videos, but for those of you who do enjoy them, I'm making this video to prove a point that I've mentioned before about test leads and the resistance of the test leads. I made two sets of test leads up out of this 18 gauge test lead wire, silicone rubber, I guess, or whatever is on the insulation, stranded. This is what I've been saying all along. This is what you got to use. And one of my viewers, Jim, a while ago, a few weeks ago, I guess, sent me some nice clip leads, clips, good quality ones. And he also sent me some banana plugs, good quality banana plugs. So I made up a set of, the second set of leads. The first one I made up is this one here, out of these Pomona, which right now I got plugged into the tri-power supply. If you ever need a power supply, Doug, I recommend getting this. This is like 500 mils, but it'll run all your radios. These are plentiful on eBay, at least the last time I looked. They're not too pricey. And they're regulated and everything, you know. And if you need something heavier than that, then by all means get something like this, which works excellent. I paid $30 for this on eBay, and it worked great out of the box. All I did is just paint the cabinet, and it's good for, I believe, 5.5 amps, current regulated, as well as this one. So anyways, these here are 18 gauge, good quality banana plugs and good quality clips, not this cheap Chinese junk like these here. Okay, I want to show you on this meter here, cheap leads like from China, and this here is one of the better ones from China, believe it or not. And I'm going to show you difference between this and the ones I made up. Hang on a minute. Okay, the first thing, I got the clips shorted together here, and I'm going to put this in the meter. The meter is set to the low ohms range, and this is going to read about 1.5 ohms. There you go, right there. Okay? That's the Chinese leads. Now, Chinese leads will be fine for measuring voltage, but when you want to read like low ohms and checking resistors, you got 1.5 ohms on the leads themselves. So you're going to have to deduct that off of your resistor that you're reading. Okay, here's the leads I made up. Clips are shorted together. What more proof do you need? Now, if you don't believe that that'll influence your resistance reading when you're reading low ohms, I'll put a 1 ohm resistor on these here leads, and I'll do the same with the Chinese one. Here is a 1 ohm resistor on the leads I made. Let's take that same resistor and put it on the Chinese leads. There you go. 2.4 ohms. What more proof do you need? Now these clips, these banana plugs here are fastened tight, but they're cheapies. But the wire is very thin. This wire is probably 24 gauge. None of this really matters all that much. If you're measuring a 1 megohm resistor, it's not going to make any difference. But if you're reading resistors that are low, like, let's say 30 ohms or thereabouts or lower, or, well, even 100 ohms, you got to subtract the 1.5 ohms or whatever your resistance is of your cheap leads. There shouldn't be any resistance, or basically almost nothing. There'll always be resistance, but there shouldn't be an ohm and a half of resistance in test leads. So I've always, when I had my old shop, always had good heavy test lead probes and stuff. But anyways, Jim had sent me these banana plugs here, one package, one set, and he also sent me a double binding post, and he's the same fellow that sent me the meters. So I got this double binding post if I ever have a project or anything I want to make, or a heavy duty power supply or anything. But anyways, I wanted to make this video just to touch base on good quality test leads. Okay, so that's it. So now we got our leads, good quality test leads, so when I need to do some low resistance checks, I won't have to deal with it. Now, we're not worried about a fraction of an ohm and stuff like that, but we don't want 1.5 ohms of resistance in our test leads, not for measuring resistance. I think I told you I put in the 3-prong cord and plug on both of these pieces here, so those are all set. And last couple days I haven't been doing any work here because it's been very, very hot, and today's the first day it's cooled down substantially. I also, well, a while back I ordered an old tube manual, actually 2 of them. One's in 1959 and one's in 1940. And a transistor manual, an old one, in the 50s, I think. And then a newer one that I just got in the mail from eBay, because I like the paper manuals. They're easy to find things. Of course, I got these bin of old transistors, and for the heck of it, I've been looking in the book. Not that I care, because I'm not doing anything, but here I got quite a few of these V176 transistors. A V like Invicta 176. I couldn't find it in the book, but I did find a 2N176, and it's an audio output transistor for auto radios. I got these given to me, and I think some of these were mine originally and was sent back to me by, I think it was Bill, Radio Man 56, I believe. And here's another one, the odd numbers on it. Besides these V176s, which I think are 2N176, I've got about 5 or 6 more of these. And then an S278 is, this one here is a 2N5878. It's not in the book, and I don't know what year that book came out. Not a big deal. These are transistors that I'll probably never use. But back in the 60s and 70s, I used to experiment with transistor projects when I had good eyesight. and made them on perf boards and things. And I have no idea where these all came from. But anyways, I've got, like I say, I've got a lot of these V176s, quite a few of them. Hey, these are all V176s here, every single one of them. I can keep pulling them out. But they're, apparently, if it's a 2N176, it's an audio output transistor. And my Cricket will tell me whether it's an NPN or a PNP anyways, but if it's a 2N176, I think it's a PNP. But anyways, I just wanted to show you that. It's no big deal. And then there's a few 2N3055s. This one came out of that scope, so it's got the silicone grease on it in the back of it. And some stud type transistors, S278. Let me show you the transistor book that I just got in. And the reason I bought the book is if I get something I want to look at the specs of or find out what it is, it's much better than to run in the house and go on the computer and look it up, because I don't have internet. Wi-Fi don't reach out here. And I have a heck of a time. Well, not so much. I mean, I can type it in on Google and find out what it is usually. Most things, but I can't do it out here because I don't have, like I showed you on my computer, I don't have a wireless connection out here. So I have to run in the house to look something up on the computer. I'd rather have a paper book in front of me with a magnifying glass, and I do much better that way. So let me show you the books that I have gotten throughout, and I'm going to put you on a tripod, that I've gotten throughout the last couple months or so. Okay, this one I just got in from eBay. It's in real good shape. And it lists quite a few transistors, including the 2N3055. And it gives you circuits and stuff, but with my eyesight, I don't attempt to do that anymore. And I don't remember when, let's see, the copyright, when this was printed. I can probably, 1969 is the copyright. So, okay, so 69, it will cover everything I do, you know. All right, let me show you the other books that I got. This one does not even list the 2N3055. It does list the old one. And you know what? Years ago I used to have, I don't know if you guys remember, in my junk box, and I got rid of it a long time ago, is a CK722. Some of you old-timers may remember that, a germanium transistor, very, very leaky. I used to make noisemakers using that, and the tones would change as the transistor became more leaky. Well, that's not even listed in this book, but neither is the 2N3055. But I got it because if I run into something old, I'll have it. This is when this was copyrighted. I'm not going to be able to spend much more time out here. I got to get going. 1958. Or is it 68? 58, okay. 1958. And then, of course, I got this one. Now, I really didn't need to get these two older ones. I was kind of disappointed they didn't have the 2N3055 in there. The only reason I say that is because that's probably the vintage years that anything I'll be working on would be in the book. But it's not in this book either, and this is a 1962, so I figured the 2N3055 definitely would have been out by 1962. But no, it's not listed in here, and neither is the CK722. Not a big deal because I don't have a CK722 anymore, but I do have this one, and I have no idea what it is. All right, there's no numbers on it, and I looked with my eye lope. And I can't give you a I'm using the Kodak ZE-1, so I won't be able to get a close-up of it. It's a metal case. It's definitely a germanium transistor, and it was in my junk box. But I have no idea. I don't think it's a CK722 because that was a plastic case transistor, as I recall. Kind of tall. Black, as I recall. But it was a plastic case. This is a metal case, but it's new. It's never been used. Okay, that's all. I know it's boring to a lot of you. I'll have to do a lot of editing on this. But anyways, I do want to have some reference material here. This book I had for quite a few years. It was in the house, so that's why I never got rid of it. This was in the house, so I never got rid of it. But if it was in that old attic shop, it would have been gone. So, and this was in the house. I think it's a coin electronics book. So, yeah, I definitely want some reference material out here. Well, anyways, that's about it. So thank you for watching.